Aha! Hello everyone, Darkside Phil here. Today is Sunday, December 27th, 2015. My shirt feels crooked. And welcome to the Week in Preview, the very final Week in Preview for the year of 2015, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, if you can believe it, the year is about to come to a close this week. And I've got some good news and I got some bad news. The bad news is Christmas is officially over. And that's sad for me because I love Christmas. Christmas time is so much one of my favorite times of the year. I love talking about it. I love celebrating it. I love watching Christmas movies, eating Christmas foods, gift giving, everything. I love everything about Christmas. And now, unfortunately, in the next week, once the new year hits, a lot of us will be packing up our decorations and putting everything away for a year until that time comes again, in late November of 2016. So that's the bad news. The good news is, as of this week, we're going to start with the major changes that are going to basically kind of transform the stuff that I'll be doing in 2016. It's basically going to be kind of a preview before I actually make some of the big changes, like make a new YouTube channel and stuff like that. It's basically going to be a preview of what you can expect come the year of 2016. I'm going to explain all of that in a moment because the schedule for this week, much like last week, is going to be different than it used to be. And there's going to be a lot of combination of gameplay plus other stuff. There's a special event going on this week. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, okay? But before we get there, there's two critical things that I need your interaction for. So let me get those out of the way first. The very first thing is the funniest moments nominations for this year. That's right. As of last week, 1 week ago to tonight, I put up a special video that explained that I had these polls made on thekingofhate.com where you could you could vote on the funniest moments of the year. There's three threads, 3 polls. Each poll has 9 videos for you to peruse, okay? So if you haven't yet, I strongly recommend you head over to thekingofhate.com and you check out those threads. Now, those threads, I can see how many views they have. One of them has over 1,000, and the others have close. One's like 800 views, and I think one's like 900 views. So the good news is, it seems like the people who are voting and are looking at those have given them all a fair viewing. What happens a lot of times is because there's 3 threads, everyone watches the first thread and votes, and they don't watch threads 2 or 3, and because of that, those videos usually don't get as many votes. But it looks like this year we're pretty much on par and the threads are getting some even viewership, so that's good, okay? If you haven't done this yet, if you haven't looked at these moments and voted, you only have until New Year's, meaning once it's 2016, those threads will be closed. Those results will be locked in stone, and that's what I'm going to roll with when I do my funniest fan-voted moments of the year year-end series at the end of, well, it's really not going to be the end of this week. It's probably going to be the first week to 2 weeks of January, okay? So I very strongly urge you, head over to the forums, check it out, all right? It won't take more than maybe, I say probably 30 minutes, and the reason I say that is because there's 9 videos and 3 polls, so 27 videos, but those videos are linked right in the thread. You click on them, it jumps you right to the funny part, and you, oh, is that funny or not? I like that one. You could say you want to vote for it, and by the way, yes, you can vote for multiple things. You don't have to only vote for one per thread. No, you can vote for multiple things in each poll in each thread, okay? So please, get on that because it's going to end at the end of this week, and that's your last chance to vote on it, all right? Number 2, if you are a patron in the month of November and you pledged $5 or more and you have the premium forum access on thekingofhate.com, you only have until, yes, again, the end of the new year, or the end of this year, excuse me, to vote on what game you want to see me play in the platforming marathon that's coming later this week, and I'm going to explain the scheduling of that in this video, okay? The options right now are Crash Bandicoot 3, Banjo-Kazooie HD from the Rare Replay Collection, or Conker's Bad Fur Day HD from the Replay Collection. The way it's going to work, it'll be a day marathon like I've been doing with these patron reward marathons over the course of this year. It'll be around a 6 to 7 hour long gameplay stream, and I'll get a big chunk into the game, okay? Now, making this abundantly clear, it's in the hands of the patrons. It's not me that's choosing or whatever. The patrons are voting. Right now, based on the results, Conker's in the lead. Crash is right behind it, and Banjo's a little bit behind both. But the bottom line is, I'm not even kidding you here. 10 votes. All those games are within 10 votes. So for those who are premium, forum members because they were $5 patrons last month, you can completely flip this thing on its head and change the outcome if you haven't voted yet. So I strongly urge anyone who was a November patron, if you haven't had a chance yet, I know it's the holidays, you've been busy, head to the forums, check out the patron exclusive area, and vote, because by the end of this week, we're going to have our result, and that's what I'm going to be playing in the special event this week, okay? So, this week that just happened was pretty good. It was a good week for me. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a combination of me working on a Christmas special for you, also setting up holiday WWE simulation fantasy matches. In addition to that, I was continuing with ongoing playthroughs. I was actually able to complete a few things, such as the WWE My Career Mode run that I wanted to end once I got a major title, which I did. And I also completed my near completionist run of Fallout 4. There's only very few things I didn't do in my Fallout 4 playthrough. The things that I didn't do really weren't main quests. There was like maybe an Easter egg here or there or something. But for the most part, I did almost every major thing in the freaking game, okay? So I really enjoyed having some almost, what's the word? I didn't want to have things lingering heading into this new year. And I'm glad that I had some, the ability to finish off some of these projects and playthroughs that I've been working on, okay? Now, in addition to that, as you know, I've been planning on some other things that I'm working on, including the year-end series. And that's really what I'm going to be focusing on this week. So allow me to explain this week's schedule, all right? The past 2 days, I've done fan appreciation multiplayer with the viewers. Yesterday, we did Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and today we did Halo 5. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing Metal Gear Solid Online. And Tuesday, we're going to be doing Star Wars Battlefront. And that will end out this 4-day marathon of fan appreciation for the viewers and fans, okay? So I'm excited. I haven't played Metal Gear Online since the freaking thing came out, the week it came out. And to play it again now will be, kind of fun to get a little bit caught up with it and see if people have figured out how to really play it. Because when I played it back in October when it launched, everyone was doing run-and-gun third-person shooter gameplay like they're playing Uncharted or something. And I want to see if that's changed now, okay? That could be pretty fun. And, of course, Star Wars Battlefront, it's hit or miss. It's fun in small bursts, but once you play it at length, it kind of gets boring. So I haven't played it now in a bit, so it'll be probably fun to play it again just to get another dose of it. So I'm excited for that. And what's going to happen is those are going to be the earlier streams. Yes, my streams are earlier now. It's official. My gameplay streams are 1 hour earlier. This came into effect this past week, and I'm sticking to it. They're going to start around noonish Pacific time, which is around 3 p.m. Eastern time. And the streams are long. They're longer than they used to be. It used to only be 2.5 to 3 hours. Now it's 3.5 to 4 hours of gameplay a day. So there's more gameplay on the stream, and it starts a little earlier, okay? So both of those days, that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see anything later on in the day because I am now officially, as of tonight, beginning to work on my year-end series. The very first one's going to be the most disappointing games of the year. Then I'm going to move on to the best and worst things to happen to DSP Gaming this year, which will probably be a much shorter series. Then we're going to have my favorite playthroughs of the year, which is going to be a lot different than my favorite games of the year, because even though there's games that'll be in the Game of the Year awards, right, there were a lot of games I played this year that were not new games. They were not games that maybe you would consider something you would review or even be good enough to be in the top 10 games of the year, but I really enjoyed playing those games, and I thought the playthroughs were great. So that's what I'm going to emphasize during this series, okay? It's going to be a little different. Then once I'm done with all those series, I am going to move on to the fan-voted funniest moments. So that's why it behooves you, if you're going to vote and you want to see these moments and you want to get your voice heard, you got to vote by the end of this week, because I'll be closing it off, and by then I'll probably have already gone through 1 to 2 of the year-end series, and I'll be moving on, and I'll be working on that funniest moments the week afterward, okay? And then after all that, finally, it will be my official Game of the Year awards, which I always do a top 10 games of the year, and this year will be no exception. Now, just like I always do as well, some of the fan-voted moments that didn't make it to the top voting, I'm still going to show and mention as honorable mentions in the countdown. Same thing with Game of the Year awards. Even though I may have 10 games that I think are the best games this year, I'm definitely going to have honorable mentions there too. So even if my personal picks or your voting doesn't make the best thing that you liked at the top, it'll probably end up still getting a mention anyway, which is nice, and that's what I like to do in my year-end videos, all right? So the reason I'm saying this is a cool preview of 2016 is because this is exactly how it's going to be in 2016. I'm going to be doing one gameplay stream a day that starts earlier and lasts 3 to 4 hours. The second half of every day in 2016 will be dedicated to something else, whether it's doing some kind of a vlogging. Oh, something happened in gaming news today, and I want to do a reactionary vlog about it, and I will. Or maybe I'll do a new kind of vlog series. I've been saying for a million years I wanted to do new vlog series, one about talking about movies and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to look to do stuff like that, okay? Game reviews are going to be way more often now, because now I'm taking half of a day every day to work on other stuff. I can actually do a game review in a timely manner. So, perfect example here if this were in effect, I would have already probably reviewed games like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and Fallout 4 would have been reviewed right away, and probably Call of Duty Black Ops 3 would have been reviewed. Things that I didn't get to review because I was too busy doing other stuff. It's going to be different in 2016, okay? Now, also, I'm going to be working in 2016 on edited content, which is hilarious because guess what I'm working on this week? Edited content, my year-end series. So see what I mean? This week really is just starting next year's schedule early, and I'm just going to stick to it. Okay, so the gameplay is still there. For those who want to be there live or watch the on-demand gameplay on DSP Gaming, it's still going to be coming out every single day. And then there's going to be new vlogging and edited content for you. Now, the new channel that I'm making for 2016 is not in effect yet. I just want to make that abundantly clear. It's not yet, okay? It's coming. It's in work, and in fact, I think I have decided on a name. I'm not going to spoil whatsoever, but I will be announcing this probably in mid-January when I'm ready to officially launch that channel and hit the ground running with new content. More than likely, what's going to be the first stuff on that channel? You're probably going to see the review of Fallout 4. You're probably going to see some cool series such as the best of stuff of the week, like gameplay highlights for whatever I had played that week over on DSP Gaming. And probably I'm going to start with a couple top 10 countdowns of things such as, here's my 10 favorite games from Xbox 360. Here's the 10 things I really liked about the last console gen. Here's 10 things I hated about the last console gen. That kind of stuff is what I'm going to be doing on that channel, okay? Hopefully, it'll stir up a lot of discussion, because that's what I want with that channel. People to be discussing, reacting, and having intelligent discussions about the kind of videos that I put on that channel, versus there's not much you could do about when you're just watching a playthrough, you're just reacting to what you see in the playthrough, you know what I mean? It's a little different when you got this kind of edited content style of stuff, all right? But I digress. That's in the future. This week, Fan Appreciation Monday and Tuesday, and I'll be working on year-end series, and hopefully I can release the very beginning, if not the whole series of the worst, the most disappointing games of 2015 this week, all right? What else is coming up this week? Well, Wednesday, I'm going to jump back into Yakuza 5. It's now going to have been a week since I played. And it's hilarious because if you didn't know this, I found this out from a viewer. He said, Phil, I caught up on your Yakuza 5 playthrough. Were you aware that you're literally at the point of the game where you have a whole Christmas level? And I was like, you gotta be shitting me. And he's like, no, it's all Christmas. If you had played a little bit more, you get to this city and it's decorated for Christmas. There's Christmas activities. You were literally right there. And of course, you wouldn't have known that because you never played the game before. I was like, son of a bitch, if I had known that, I wouldn't have done the side content in the mountains of Yakuza 5. I would have rushed forward and got to the Christmas stuff for Christmas. So whatever, it looks like I'll be doing it on Wednesday. So that'll be my gameplay session on Wednesday. On Thursday, my gameplay session is going to be Rise of the Tomb Raider. And from what people are telling me, I'm about 3 to 4 hours away from the ending of the game. So it looks like I may actually finish it on Thursday. Or maybe I won't. Depends. How long does it take me to get through it? Quite honestly, I haven't been having a lot of difficulty with this game. But I have enjoyed kind of branching out and looking at some of the optional tombs and things in the game that you don't have to necessarily do. So if I run into any, I probably do them, and it might extend the length of the playthrough. The bottom line is it looks like 1 to 2 more sessions, and I'm done with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Great, because that will probably also be one of the games that I'll be kind of reviewing first thing on my new channel once it launches in 2016. Okay? So, that's kind of what you can expect for most of this week. However, there's a special event on Friday. I'm setting it in stone as of right now. This is the Platforming Marathon, the patron reward for the month of November. It's going to be the results of the poll that I mentioned earlier, and it's going to be on Friday. You might say, well, why is it on Friday? It's very simple. Originally, I was going to do it on Thursday, and I realized Thursday is New Year's Eve. So a lot of my viewing audience are probably going to be doing things for New Year's Eve. You know, traditionally there's parties, there's celebrations, and I do realize that I have a lot of European and international viewers who their time zone differences, their times are ahead of mine. So if I did a marathon, right, how stupid would it be to do it on New Year's Eve when half the people are going to be like, well, I would love to watch this, but I got to go now to celebrate New Year's. So I decided I'll do it on New Year's Day, when everyone's hungover, everyone's tired, everyone basically just wants to relax and mope around the house. You can watch the marathon stream that day, and I think that's actually the best day for it. So that's going to be Friday, January 1st, 2016, the marathon stream. Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably be going back to things like Yakuza 5, and again, balancing that with the year-end series so that you're going to have year-end videos coming out paired with gameplay every day, okay? Little mini preview for everyone of January, because a lot of people have been saying, man, you know, I'm looking at January and this is pretty a dead month. You know, you look at this month and it's like, holy shit, how dead is this month going to be? There's really no game releases in January. You've got, I think the major game releases Resident Evil 0, the remake, completely redesign of the game that Capcom's working on. That's a good one. That one I want to do. It's the final Resident Evil game I've never played in the traditional numbered series, so I definitely want to play that one. Later in the month, you've got Lego Avengers, which I'm on the fence about playing because I recently played Lego Batman, what was it, 3? Or 2? Whatever one it is that I played, I really didn't like it. However, I did play Lego Jurassic Park last year, and I did like that. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like, will it be more like Lego Jurassic Park or more like Lego Batman? And I don't know. So I don't know. I'm debating if I even want to bother with it because I don't know. That Lego Batman games has left such a bad taste in my mouth. And quite honestly, a lot of people have been saying some Lego games just seem really boring. Like Lego Jurassic Park was cool because you went through all the movies. But what's Lego Avengers going to be? Is it going to be the 2 movies? Or is it going to be their own original plot line? And I don't know. I might have to look into it once we have more information near the release. So we'll see. That's something that I might do. But there's really nothing else in January. If you look at the schedule, there's like nothing else going on in January. So, some ideas. A preview of what I'm planning on playing in January. Obviously, I want to finish Yakuza 5, but that's not going to be every day. I don't want to play Yakuza 5 for 2 weeks straight. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be Yakuza 5, balanced with, here's my ideas, and I want to say special thanks to the people who have been kind of hitting me with these suggestions recently. Undertale, which everyone's been asking me to play all fall. Phil, you going to play Undertale? You going to play Undertale? First of all, I never heard of Undertale. Second of all, I'm in the middle of all the new releases for the fall, so I can't play it. And by the end of the year, everyone's screaming at me because I didn't play Undertale. It's like, listen, if Undertale was like a heavily promoted game and everyone had known it was coming out and everyone knew it was going to be great, then of course I would have had Undertale in my schedule for 2015. But no one knew that. It was a game that literally like is a sleeper hit. It came out of nowhere. No one saw it coming. When it hit, so many people liked it. And then of course bigger YouTubers and people started playing it, got mass attention for it. And then, of course, everyone wants to see me play it, but now I'm in the middle of all my own stuff. You know, all the stuff that I had already planned on doing. So I'm interested, very interested in playing Undertale, especially because people have been telling me it kind of looks, and in a lot of ways plays kind of like Earthbound, only with lots of twists. That's pretty much the extent of what I know about the game. I have not spoiled it. I'm trying to keep myself away from knowledge about it, so when I play it, I can do an honest playthrough and not have already been so, you know, exposed to it that I know everything about the game. So I definitely want to play this game, but I've heard it's only like 10 to 12 hours long. So if that's the case, maybe a few sessions and I'll probably end up beating it. All right. Another game that I'm very strongly considering. This is one people have asked for years, and I've kind of been holding off for a time when I knew there wasn't a lot going on, and I think that this might be the perfect time for it. The game that I'm talking about in particular is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Now, I don't know if there's a new version of it or whatever, and that's been out since the last time I played. If you remember, I played Vice City Stories a couple years ago, and I really enjoyed it. But I played it, you know, the emulated version on my PlayStation 3, because I wasn't aware, is there any other version of this game out? And at that point, everyone was like, no. So I don't know if there's a new version of this game or whatever, but Liberty City Stories is the very last Grand Theft Auto game in the main line of games that I never played. Once I've played it, that means I would have played 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, 4 and its 2 expansions, and 5. So I will have played every major Grand Theft Auto game once I do Liberty City Stories. So I'm thinking, knowing how long those games traditionally are, right? The Grand Theft Auto games can be pretty long. This would probably be a great month for me to do it. Because outside of finishing up Yakuza 5, right? And then moving into maybe Undertale, which again doesn't seem like it's a long game, and besides Resident Evil 0, the one new game I want to play for the month, maybe this is the time. Because then in February, let me tell you, February is probably going to end up being pretty heavy for me, just because of Street Fighter V. Let me tell you, I played Street Fighter V's beta about a week ago. I freaking loved it. I loved playing with Zangief. My God, Zangief is my style of character. If ever there was a character, that's like my style. Slow, but it's calculated counter hits and timed grabs, and it's reactionary gameplay. That's what I'm good at. I'm not good at doing pattern gameplay and shit like that. I'm better at reactionary gameplay, and that's what I like about Street Fighter. It can be played in different methods. So I'm actually really pumped for Street Fighter V. I'm going to play the shit out of that game in February. And there are a few other releases in February too. So I think that month is going to be jam-packed. March, April are looking pretty heavy. All right? It actually looks like not until May do we get a little lull with everything that's going on. And being that I'm going to be now juggling gameplay also with these vlogging and the highly edited content, it's going to be a heavier load. Even though there might not be as many games coming out as, say, the end of the year, it's going to be, you know, an adjustment period for me to adjust and juggle all this stuff, okay? So all that being said, I'm hoping that January would be the right month to do Liberty City Stories. Let me know. Let me know in the comments of this video on Twitter. Send me an email at darksidefil@hotmail.com. Let me know what you think about me playing Liberty City Stories, Undertale, and finishing Yakuza 5, balancing all that with Resident Evil 0 in the month of January. Give me your honest feedback, and if there is a better way to play Liberty City Stories besides the digital emulated version on PS3, please let me know, because I'm not aware. I looked into it. I can't find anything, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a new re-release. I don't know. I know they just released Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, I think, on PlayStation 4, but I didn't think they did Liberty City Stories, so we'll see. I'm excited. I would love to do it. I would love to jump in and play it. So it is the final game in the series that I never did. I think it is the opportune time, all right? So, ladies and gents, that's kind of my plans for this week. Finishing up Fan Appreciation, more Yakuza, hopefully finishing up Rise of the Tomb Raider, the Marathon Special on Friday, year-end series will be continuing this, well, actually starting this week and will be released nightly, and moving into next week when I'm going to be doing more of my year-end stuff, and I'll be finishing up games like Yakuza, and I'll be moving into the new content for the new year. I think that's a good idea, but obviously your feedback is very, very warranted, so please let me know what you think, okay? Outside of all that, I don't have a heck of a lot left to talk about. The only thing that I will say, because really this is the most timely time to talk about it, Patreon, whoop, right here. You know, I haven't really been mentioning it that much, and it really hasn't been a big deal this month, because this month's been a dead month, let's face it. There were no new releases. I was finishing up a lot of games that I'd been doing ongoing playthroughs of, so it wasn't a major thing. Right now, I can tell you we're on the edge, kind of very close to hitting the goal for the month of December. If we hit the goal, the funding goal, we're going to be doing Rockathon 2.0, a Rock Band Marathon again, only this time, the patrons are actually going to be able to submit their requests for songs for me to play and sing during this marathon. If they pledge $5 or more, they'll have premium forum access, and they can post those up in the patron section. I'll be tallying all that up before the event happens and using that as the method to figure out what I should be doing during this marathon, okay? But I can't guarantee we're going to hit the goal. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, Patreon has been screwed up this past week for the holidays, and I've sent them several requests to fix it, and they have not yet. Basically, there's these idiots who keep going on there and trolling me with false pledges, and there's no way around it. I've now been promised by Patreon, okay, that in the first 3 months of 2016, they're going to implement a way to ban people from the site from doing these false pledges, okay? I don't know if I should believe them, because they've promised the world before and haven't come through. The bottom line is there's people who are consistently going there and doing false pledges on my account, so I can't even tell you right now how much funding I have. It sucks, because I know there's one person at least who's pledged like $100 or more that's fake, and there's other people who are pledging, and then what they do, they'll pledge like a big amount, and then all of a sudden when the day happens, they withdraw their pledge and they say, ha ha ha, we fooled Phil, and there's no protection against it, because that's how Patreon works. So I don't want to say to everyone, oh, we've hit the funding goal, and then next thing you know, last day of the month, bloop, all the funding falls out because it was all fake, and I say, well, guess what, we didn't hit anything. That would really suck. So I don't want to promise you that, but I definitely want, I want to do the Rockathon again, but I got to stick to my guns. We've got to hit the goal. It's a reward for hitting a funding goal. That's the whole reason we're doing it, okay? So if you haven't checked it out yet, patreon.com/darksidefil. If you've considered, I can't really point at it from here. Here we go. If you considered pledging in the past and you haven't yet, got some extra cash for the holidays, and you want to get some cool personal perks and contribute towards the goal of the Rockathon 2.0, perfect time to do it, right? And that's really about it. You have until the end of the year to pledge. If you have to pledge by midnight, December 31st, Pacific time, by the way, Pacific time. And I hope we hit the funding, because I'd love to do that next marathon for you, okay? That's it for the weekend preview. A very filled one. Lots of info to talk about in this episode, right? So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope that it was informative for you. I hope to see you this week for the remainder of the Fan Appreciation, the continuing playthroughs, the year-end stuff. It's an active, exciting time of the year, and we're getting used to this new schedule, which is going to be the new schedule for 2016. I hope you like it. Thank you, everyone, for your support. And I just want to end with that. Thank you for your support. For anyone who watches, who comments, who likes, who pledges, who buys soap for my girlfriend's business to help support. All the things that you guys and gals do to support is very well appreciated. I want you to understand that. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for you. I fully understand that. And despite all the nonsense that goes on, all the shit people make up and try to strum up negativity, you still stick in there, and you're still here, and you're still coming out to watch the videos, and it's awesome. And I couldn't ask for anything more, right? I hope that this next year is a positive one, despite that there's going to be setbacks like this contract negotiation that I went through. If we could stay positive and we can stay the course and people really enjoy the new edited content and the increase in vlogging and stuff like that, I think we could work things out and it could be really good. But we got to stay that course, you know what I mean? Not give in to all the bullshit. We have to stay that course, stick with it, and stay positive and just keep enjoying it and just keep fighting it. You know, I fight it every day. I really do. Every day, new shit that just lands in my lap, and I'm like, I can ignore the shit. I could try to brush the shit off. I could try to dodge the shit, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be an expert shit dodger. I'll be like the fucking Neo from The Matrix doing slow motion dodges as turds are flying over me because, you know, at this point, I don't think it's going to go away. I just think it's to the point where it's got to just be manageable daily. You know what I mean? So I hope that you're staying out of it. I hope that you're enjoying the stuff for what it is at face value. I certainly am, and I'm very excited. I'm positive for all these changes and the stuff coming up, and I hope that you are too, okay? That's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. And now to end the video, without further ado, special thanks to the following patrons who made this upcoming marathon on Friday possible. Peace out, and I'll see you for all the new stuff this week, and I'll see you next week for the next week in preview. And Happy New Year.